Gray and Marty are here at the door this morning. Marty doesn't try to do anything to her, and if he comes any closer, she just puts him out, hisses at him, tells him to wait, her to wait. We're still confused about Marty. I didn't get a chance to remove a cushion this morning, but the good news is that Slade is here eating. She's the fussiest one about eating with even any of the other guys in the vicinity. Hi, sweetheart. Hi. Yeah, I do have to work just a little harder to get through the morning routine these days, but it's worth it. Stripe's eating halfway up the hill. He goes up and put the food down for Marty and Morris, and then he quietly follows me back down, and I put down another bowl for him because Marty is just very food bowl guarding, pushy, hard to eat with, and Morris can handle it, and Stripe prefers not to. Everything's looking so pretty out here. We are supposed to get some rain today and tomorrow. There's a pretty good chance. So I'm not going to water today. Just wanted to show you that this hydrangea over here is blooming. I didn't have any comeback pink, so if I want them pink, I'm going to have to fertilize them properly to try to do that, pink or purple. They're just all naturally blue here. My oak leaf hydrangea is looking much better this year. It's doubled in size. I don't have any flower spikes though like they had at the 8th mill yesterday, but I have hope for it. It looks healthy, so we'll fertilize it and be patient. It's time for our walk. It's going on 8:30. It's about 66. So Leapfrog Land Care has showed up and they're getting ready to cut the grass at the environmental park. I would say that they're doing it in such a timely fashion that it barely needs to be done today, but
you know, I don't think that's what's going on here.
No.
That the city cuts that grass. It's not they've got city.
You think they're just pulled? You're right. You think they're just pulled in
their stuff out. They're just using that parking lot as a convenient place to rearrange something.
Well, we can go back then.
Well,
or we can go to Fleming Loop. Or we can go to South Park. You pick. Alright, we're going over to Fleming Loop after a little discussion about it, having enough time, etc., etc. It's more out in the sun there, so the fact that it's cloudy today is probably will make the walk a little more comfortable, although it's not hot this morning. South Park is a half a mile behind us, so, and Fleming Loop is basically just over that mound of dirt through the trees. You can kind of see the soccer field lights, so you can see how close these two parks are. This is where the hot air balloon fest that I posted so many great pictures of was a couple of years ago when Fleming Loop Park wasn't completed yet. They were, you know, basically allowed on the ground with thousands of people for a 3-day weekend before they put in the soccer fields and sod and all this great grass and sprinklers and stuff. And now this field is basically not usable anymore for that. And I feel like that's a little bit of a loss for the town, personally, myself. But anyway, we have these two great parks within 2 miles of the house. I mean, we have good parks on this side of town.
that's the shirt you got.
Yeah, it is. Right around the reservation for the Model 3.
Yeah, I wore it to the reservation for the Model 3, which was March of 2016.
Yeah, Don takes really good care of his shirts.
Yeah.
So this is Fleming Loop Park. And right over here in front of us, that's where the hot air balloons would go off. And it's mostly soccer fields now. I guess the goals you can see down on the end over here have been moved out of the field because probably mowing. But the kids are playing here all the time. But anyway, there's two large ovals here. This side and then down there on the other side. And we don't know, we didn't research in advance how long this is. But yeah, but we'll figure it out. Well, Don's got his, you know, fitness thing going.
And I have to say my fitness thing is pretty accurate because I think it's based on GPS. And the GPS resolution nowadays on smartphones is really good. And so I think it's if it says we went 3.1 miles, it's probably close enough. And I don't think it's off more than just a tenth of a mile plus or minus. So.
Yeah, I would say this is way too out in the sun for the middle of the summer. You just bake out here. And I don't know, wildlife is probably good near the tree line on the other side, but obviously not as good here on the parking lot side. And there are facilities over there, but I have no idea if they're actually open. It looks like the area by the playground is on the other side loop. If they were going to have one bathroom open in the morning, I would guess it would be that one. I do note that there's multiple cameras on each of these light poles. So, keeps honest people honest. And you can see here they're locked, but if you need to get a vehicle through here, they can unlock those, and they've made these paths big enough for vehicles, which is good. I mean, what if an emergency response team needs to get on the path and get to somebody or whatever? I unfortunately think about these things. But let's say it's not because I've been sick, but more because I'm a mom. And I've been to lots of museums and stuff and seen things happen where they needed to come in. I would say the sod they put down here is Bermuda. Yeah, it's definitely not fescue planted in this field. Fescue being a cold weather grass for North Carolina, it looks really great in the fall and winter. And Bermuda, of course, being a summer grass. Fescue wouldn't stand up to a lot of traffic. It looks great for partially shaded lawns here in North Carolina, though. Hey, Donnie, there's a fountain up there to look forward to. A geyser. Okay. Our friend Janet, where's she been this week?
Out in the Grand Tetons National Park out there.
Yeah, beautiful pictures she's been posting to Facebook. I've been to the Grand Canyon, but I've not been to the Tetons.
Yeah, it's up in Montana, Idaho, Wyoming.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been in any of those three states.
Yeah.
I've been on I-40 out to California back, and then all the way up the California coast. There's Jules over there. Don just gravitated to the less busy parking lot because I told him it didn't matter which side we entered this trail on because it went all the way around the entire park. Yeah, this just opened, what, last year?
Yeah.
I mean, to finish.
When it finished, the pandemic was raging.
Yeah. So it's right at a year old, or not quite. This is the first place Johnny really drove Mom's van and put it in reverse and stuff when it was still a field over here. I brought him in the van one day. There's a few more people here this morning, and they've been funning me about me videoing. That's cool. Well, that's nice. I like that. Obviously, this is runoff management from all the parking lot in the fields, more so than anything else, but that's pretty. I mean, if you're going to have a water spot, why not put a fountain in? Oh, there's a snapper. Couple of snapping turtles. They won't mess with you, and you don't want to mess with them. Can always tell it's a snapper because their shells will be very muddy, very dirty. All of the fun little forest turtles here that just hide in their shell, they have really pretty clean shells. But if it's a dirty shell, a muddy shell, snapper. Well, there are definitely more people here, but they are all super friendly. Like, we've had 10 people say good morning to us. It's a nice crowd of people here. Again, very safe feeling. Yeah, if the boys were playground age when this had been completed, I mean, that is a playground.
Yeah, it's like a nice one.
Yep. So I'm noticing this slick bench over here that has the Fuquay Varina name and the town symbol on it. It's left out the green color for the town, because the town colors are blue and green. I guess I should point that out, that they've made the playground match the town colors. When they have big events here, and they had off-site parking right over here on Judd Parkway, which is what we drove on to get here, is where they had people line up to wait for the buses. Because when they had the hot air balloon thing over here, they couldn't accommodate all the parking. So they made multiple parking sites around town, and then they bus people here and then bus people out. And they did a good job of it. I mean, I think, you know, they had growing pains at the prior location for the hot balloon fest, and by the time they got over here, they had worked it out. Plus, Fuquay not being a larger city, there was lots of opportunity to park people and do it properly. So over there by that tree line, way over there, that's where we were a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, this is a nice trail. I just wouldn't want to run it in the sun. Wouldn't want to walk it in the sun. 85 and sunny. So we're basically really close to back to where we started now. And the only part we didn't walk was this far sidewalk back down to the playground. Don's fixing to look at our time we can afford to stay, time we've been on the trail, and how far we've walked, so we can decide, are we doing the loop just on this side, are we doing a full loop, or what are we doing today? It's gated by work and by goals.
We've been walking for 20 minutes.
Okay.
A mile. Already a mile. Oh, I'm sorry, I misread that. It's 0.87, so it's almost a mile around.
Okay. Well, Don determined if I don't lollygag, we have time to go all the way around one more time, and that should be close-ish to 2 miles.
My girl, she's good at finding lots of things to do on the walk. Stop, take a picture.
Right.
Video.
Well, as you watch out for the pole to your right. As you know, exercise can be kind of boring without a partner and without something to talk about along the way. So I'm just doing my thing, By the way, I seem to be handling the walk just fine, right? I'm able to carry on a conversation, which is what we want, but I definitely feel like I'm, you know, slightly winded. Yeah, we don't want me to have an intensive workout. There's a point of the exercise being too intensive that you don't have any fat burning. It raises your cortisol level, it's too much stress on the body, and it drives your hunger. So it has all these negative effects.
Well, let's just say it has all these other things that are less desirable. You can get fat burning and heart conditioning and all that stuff without super high intensity. Although high intensity is also a very effective form if you do it correctly. But you got to be in good shape to do that.
I asked Don, I said, you don't have any comments about the pump equipment? And he was trying, you see, look into the ground over here. There's another, like the metal tubing and stuff too. I'm glad I don't have to clean that pump filter, if there is one.
Well, I think that may be more to do, I mean, it's possible it's this pump here, but I think that has to do with the irrigation, because that thing's making like next to no noise.
You mean pull water out when they want to water the ball fields from the irrigation pond.
Yeah.
Ah, I see what you're saying. It's going in the opposite direction from what I was thinking. Makes total sense.
It's possible that it's running at a really low speed, because I assure you that fountain is one thing, but irrigating this many ball fields, that's a pretty serious pump.
You can see clearly Judd Parkway here, the railroad crossing, the flags. That's how we go back home. Dawn.
Just a little way more to go. And I can collapse. I have to go back to work so I can rest up.
I keep on stopping so he can catch up with me. So what are our stats?
41:35 and 1.78.
Okay.
So it's going to be about 1.85 miles, 2 laps. So it's like 0.9 miles around.
Yeah, if we went just did the loop down to the playground and back up, that would probably, which we don't have time to do, that would probably give us our 2 miles.
So each day if we would go down and come back up,
yep,
take the horseshoe instead of the cut across here.
that would be enough.
That'd probably top an easy mile at that point. One lap would be easily a mile.
I sat down over here on the end of the boardwalk and I had my fan club. Stripe was the first one to greet me, then Gray, and then Tux. I petted Stripe a little bit, then I had to ask him to move down the boardwalk so Tux wouldn't take him out. Tux let out one howl and it was like, yeah buddy, Tux is the king of the yard and that's just the way it is. It's always going to be that way. Come on Tux, let's go for a little walk. Come on. At least down to the bridge. Come on guys, let's go. You gonna come? You wanna walk? I'm willing if you're willing. Mosquitoes are starting to hover a little bit, but I can take a couple for the team. Couple mosquito bites. He's making me wait while he goes to the bathroom and plays with the leaves. But you're worth it. Come on Tux, let's go. Let's go. Nobody's coming up behind you need to be worried about. Since I'm more walking for pleasure now than on a mission for exercise, I can wait up for him, keep encouraging him to come. Because what was happening is, when I tried to do it a little more for exercises, I was ending up at the mailbox and he was here. And then he'd never come any farther. So it wasn't as much fun for me and it wasn't as much exercise for him. Come on, buddy, let's go. Come on. Come on. But if I can get him up to the stairs and we can come back through the front yard, that would be nice. We'll consider this my cool down walk. Hey buddy, you're doing a good job. Gray's coming now. Oh God, and Stripe. See, that was what was happening too. See, Stripe wants to be a full-fledged family member. I really want that for him too. But he's a mama's boy. So wherever I go in the yard, he follows. And Tux does not want him on his morning walk. So I sort of been keeping the peace. Oh no. Gray's going to turn around and give Stripe a hiss. Thankfully, when he does that, you're coming, Tux. No, 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 no. You and I are headed this way. Yeah, I'm going to have trouble getting back to the house because that's Marty and Stripe. I carried him up here to get him away. I love you, buddy, but let's go back on the trail. Hi. Hello. Hi, buddy. Let's go this way. Yeah, I know, please. I know you can run really fast, but let's not take off at lightning speed and go attack Stripe. Come on, Tux, let's go. No. I'm in trouble. He's going to chase him. There's really nothing I can do about it. It's just going to happen. And unfortunately, it's liable to get ugly. I wanted to walk back through the yard, you silly boy. I am kind of trying to catch up to him. Well, I managed to grab him, carry him, and get him here, but now Stripe's coming behind me up on the bridge. This is a problem. There's where you wanted to be.
Yeah, but I got to get up and go to work.
Well, at least you had 15 minutes.
Yeah, I had a little bit of time.
And you had 15 before we left, too. It's kind of split up now, though. I realize it's not quite as relaxing.
It's okay.
I'm looking for Panther. He hasn't been here this morning, which, first off, is unusual. And he's my old guy. And, I wasn't worried until now. Like, when he wasn't here first thing, no problem. I called. I figured he'd be here by the time we got back. That's Gray. But now that he's not here, now I'm worried. And normally if I call, I've put out several calls for him. Normally he runs from wherever he is and at least gets in the yard down there and then walks the rest of the way up that hill. So I'm worried about Panther. I think this is Panther. I think. But he never not comes when I call him. I mean, me and him, we're buds. Panther, honey, are you over here? Is that you? Hi, buddy. Hi, Panther. It is you. Did you get in a fight with somebody? He looks upset. Hi! You can trust Mama. If you need medical attention, I'll take you to the vet. His head looks okay. Sometimes if they get in a fight with somebody, then they want to hide out for a while, but at least I've laid eyes on him. I'm not used to him looking afraid. I don't know what's wrong. Seems scared. A little out of breath. At least I know where he is. I don't see any boo-boos on him from here, but of course I can't fully see him. And Gray's followed me down here now, which is not so good. I don't want to run him off farther than where he is. That doesn't seem... Hi. Well, there we got a good look at him. I don't see any boo-boos. If he wants to hang out in the woods for a while, I can't. He seems to be moving okay. I'd say he had a scuffle with something. Either one of the other cats or a critter. Although the possums and the raccoons really don't bother the cats. So now that I know he's in the yard and I don't see any boo-boos on him, I'm gonna relax. I'm not happy. I'd prefer that he was up on his porch and came to eat, but I'm not as upset. My alert level is down from a 8 to a 4 at least. I am gonna go on a thing with this FedEx person. I am. And he's still over here too. So let me see if I can go chat with him, because I might be in the mood to chat. I think he went to the left. I was polite, respectful, and I did not lose my temper. Y'all would have been proud of me. There's 2 guys on the truck today. I was able to talk to them. They were both polite, respectful, even cheery. I let them know that there's plenty of room to turn around down here, and if there's a car on the pad, we usually run out and move it, you know, if we happen to be doing something. And to please especially not leave my frozen food out here, because that upsets me. And that there's plenty of room to turn around. Other FedEx trucks that size have turned around up here. He says he does this pretty regular for right now, and he'll come up to the house the next time. So that's good. All I could do was ask nicely. I figured calling FedEx and complaining again wasn't going to help, and just talking to the person might go a little ways. So I think it was a productive conversation, and we'll see going forward. Don and I have always sort of had to train the new delivery people. The problem is these days it's a new delivery person almost every other day. All right, box loaded up. He said, you know, go in on your FedEx delivery notification and say you want it delivered to the back door. And I said, well, sometimes when I order stuff, I don't know how it's coming. I mean, you really, you know, and I order so much, but I hear him, but, anyway, you know, when I was younger, I would have not been that assertive, and I would not have advocated for myself like that. But now that I'm a little older, you know, I've learned how to talk to people better. If you don't look out for yourself, no one else will. So now that our local inspection place is not the same management anymore, I'm going to drive up to Snappy Lube off Leesville Road, which is where Tesla takes the cars, and where all of the Tesla owners that live on that side of Wake County take the car. It's like a 34-mile drive, but it's all turnpike. So it's no big deal for me. I told Dawn, please go double check the tires to make sure they're not going to fail me on tires. I don't want to deal with that. We're close. We knew we were close. We were close.
The intent all along was to, during the pandemic, just wait, and then when Johnny, before she starts driving Johnny to school in September, we were going to get tires.
August, but yes, yeah. We know tires are in our future. But I'm putting so few miles, you know, driving around Fuquay 10, 15 miles a day is not pushing us to get the new, and I don't take it out when it's pouring. Yeah, the battery died again. All we were trying to say is Don said he would give the tires 90% chance they'll pass the inspection. The passenger rear is the worst tire. The ones on the driver's side actually look pretty good, and even this front passenger one is good, but that right rear is, you know, it's close. It's close. So all we were trying to say is if when I'm not driving but at mostly slow speeds around Fuquay to Walmart, we're not too worried about the tires. If I start, you know, August and taking Johnny to downtown every day, we're going to need tires. But why put them on to sit in the driveway? So that's all we were saying. And I'm headed up to the Snappy Lube, although I am going to drive by the Valvoline place. Dawn says if I spot the guys that did the inspection the last time, who cares who the manager is, because they know me and the car. So I'll drive by there because it's on the way. Well, I guess you've come to the big town when your sky above Main Street, above downtown, has cranes in it. Looks like they're lifting something up onto that building that's under construction right now. Yes, thank you, Ruby, for letting me know I'm going too fast. Sometimes my foot presses down harder, it tries to sync up with the speed of my mouth. But yeah, we've got the crane up today, big time, tall crane. I'm gonna say there's no wait, so let me try them. So Jeffrey is still here, and he still will take good care of you and your Tesla, and he enjoyed being in the car. He was just, let's just hang out in here in the air conditioning for a while.
Yeah, and didn't want to get out.
All right, well, they took good care of me here at the Valvoline in Fuquay. There has been some turnover of employees, but Jeffrey said the buyout deal from the prior owner was that they would agree to keep the employees on that wanted to stay. So he's still there, and as long as I can see him when I show up, I will be coming back. So that was good. So the inspection's taken care of. I don't have to drive up to basically Tesla, 34 miles I think it was. I don't have to make a drive to go to Snappy Lube. So I have my shopping time back, and I'm headed to Guardian Angel Apex. I did offer Johnny to do something today, and he said, nah, maybe tomorrow, Mom. I'm gonna chillax today and lay back, you know, not 2 days in a row. I said, okay. So the first time you take your Tesla to be inspected, it can be a little overwhelming for you and possibly the technician doing your inspection if he's not familiar with inspecting Teslas. So I wanted to give you a couple of inspection tips. Number one, obviously you can find the odometer for the car if you'll click on trips over here, or if you'll pull up the app on your phone, right? Because they're going to need the odometer. Number two, in order to prove that your high beams are working, you will need to disable auto high beam and then turn headlights to on. You'll notice right now I have headlights set to auto and auto high beam selected. So switching to on will show them that your lights work, but in order to do the high beams, you've got to turn auto high beams off and then push in on the selector here forward, which is what you do for most cars. And you'll see the little blue high beam light come on when you've done that correctly. You know, usually you gotta honk the horn on the T, but it's the middle of the steering wheel, so they usually know that, and they know how to do the blinkers because the turn signals work the same way in pretty much all cars. So anyway, I think having to operate the lights and, you know, just sometimes the mileage question will catch people off guard are the two most important things to know. Yeah. When Jeffrey got in, he of course was on my profile. I quickly hit it to Dawn's profile so the seat moved back for him. I wish I had thought of that first. It would be really good to have a guy profile, a tall person profile, you know, if in the car, just so, you know, when somebody comes and sits in it, that they have, you know, obviously the knob's on the side of the seat, but then that messes with your profile if it accidentally gets saved or whatever. So I think having a man profile, a tall person profile is probably a good idea. But I rescued Jeffrey by quickly hitting Dawn's profile instead of mine. And you know, the thing about this place is he's like, you just go get in the passenger seat. I need to drive it in, but why don't you keep me straight? And you know, telling them, well, first off, I hadn't disabled pin to drive, so I put in the pin. But then, you know, all the way down on the gear selector to get it into drive, obviously don't floor it. He had a good chuckle. He teased me when I pulled up and said, "So, you're here for an oil change?" And I said, "Yeah, that's right." Not. So, fellow Tesla drivers, did I miss any other tips for inspection? If I did, leave a comment about it. I don't think so. Jeffrey knows how to work the NC State inspection machine system now to put in the right stuff for Teslas. You know, back in 2017, it asked some really dumb questions. But I think they've upgraded the inspection, you know, screens now that it takes the attendant through so that it only asks pertinent questions based on, you know, what's going on with the car, what type of car it is. But it used to be you'd have to fake some things out as far as what the cylinders of the engine were or something like that. So, but I think I've shared. Like I said, it's not a bad idea to get down on the ground and really look at your tires before you go to get inspected too. Don does have a measure, one of those, not sure the fancy name, but he has a tire tread reading device. He didn't use that today because you can kind of look at your finger, use your finger to look at the tread wear marks and see if they're actually wearing or not, because all the tires have them, you know, street tires. But it, you know, you might as well make sure that's all good before you go too. Wow, the Hertz truck fleet is all over there. And all over here. Pretty soon there won't be any shopping for any other patrons at this shopping center, just the Hertz fleet. California plates, Texas plates, New Jersey plates. I'm a little closer to the line than I meant to be, but you can't get too close to the bushes on the other side either. And I am parked as far away as I could get, which is not as far away as I wanted today. So I looked and it cost me $13.60 for the safety inspection. If they have to do an emissions check for, you know, almost all the cars, there's an additional fee. But I think we save like $5 or something not having to do the emissions test. Wow, I really like that. Says, "Bless this home with love and laughter." This is a really interesting decoration. It's sort of like latch hook or embroidery, or I don't know. It's really cool though. Obviously that says Longaberger, and it has the plastic insert with the waffle weave, the basket weave, but no actual basket. My boys had baby Snoopy, but you know, if I had to do a room all over again, I really like that print, mostly because of the robot. These are Legos, Bionicles. They have it labeled Transformers. I see a bunch of gears in there. There's some robot parts. That might be worth it. And this tablecloth will fit our table. I'm thinking Thanksgiving this year. It's really nice tablecloth. Isn't that gorgeous? And the trays actually do lift off. It's very pretty. Yeah, that's pretty good motivation to get out there and do the morning walk, right? Ruby looks great, and I do hope I get her home before it rains, but if I don't, I don't. I enjoyed driving my car today. Well, they're working up here by the Lowe's today. Well, a little surprised the guy in the bucket truck doesn't have the lane of traffic closed underneath him. Surely that's going to get finished up in the next week or two at the most. Johnny met me and helped me take in my purchases, and he's gone off to enjoy Chinese food. I did pick it up at the place next to Guardian Angel. No Taekwondo today, and I'm probably not going out. There is rain close by, and I don't think well, I know we're not supposed to have any severe weather today, so I guess I'll go ahead and plug Ruby in versus wait and come out later. She's down to 172 miles. I didn't film this in the store, but I picked up this brand new garden pot. It looks like it has they almost look like dogwood flowers, but on a lily stem. It's very pretty, and it's never had dirt in it. It's brand new. It started thundering, and Panther was finally willing to come up from the ferns. I can't inspect him like I can Tux, but I did look him over pretty good. I don't see any injuries. He was definitely looking over his shoulder though, like something bothered him. Poor guy. I'm worried it was Morris or Stripe. You know, Panther's my senior citizen. I don't want anybody up on the front porch really but him. Slate can sneak up without causing too much trouble, but you've emerged.
That's right. I'm working.
That's good. So how much rain did you say we had?
Quarter of an inch. Looks like a real solid quarter of an inch.
We had a couple rumbles of thunder, but no
Yeah.
wind, no hail, no nothing. It just
Yeah.
basically rained.
Yeah, well, it's enough. It got, you know, everything good and wet.
I'm happy about not watering for another day.
Yeah, that's right. You settle water tomorrow. That's right.
So this is why we watch Tesla Daily and Rob Maurer. He covers all the stuff you need to know. It was pointed out to us when I posted the pictures of the Siler City supercharger to our local group that it was the new prefab slab charger. And obviously here Rob's reporting that some of these were delivered to the Tesla, Texas Tesla Gigafactory today. Anyway, so yeah, so we saw 8, so there must have really been 2 slabs. That's pretty cool. You can see that it's really going to speed up the superchargers going in. I can't wait to go back and look at it a second time now, because we know we were studying what we were seeing and we took all these documentation pictures and videos and stuff, but we really didn't quite get it. And now that we get it, I really want to go see it again.